Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and His Son Yahushua Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 1st of December 2023. I'm gonna do a trade recap here. I did evaluated my Vwap strategy, Vwap Camarilla market profile, central pivot, floor pivot strategy. So it's a bunch of things in one. So I just use all of these levels to basically gauge the trade, but the prominent indicators in this level is Vwap and the Camarillas, right? So let's see here. Let's define what the Camarilla setup was, or the configuration was for the day. This was yesterday, right? The 31st. So we have a overlapping higher value. Camarilla S3 moved up, did not move above Camarilla R3, and Camarilla R3 also moved up, right? So Camarilla R3 yesterday was 42,531.52. S3 was at 42,044.60, right? So when we opened here, and this is what I class as a B setup, right? So I'm gonna start basically grading my trades. So there's the A plus setup, there's the A setup, there's the B setup, and the C setup, right? So I would class class this trade as a B setup, right? Because I'm taking a short here, right? This was my entry right there, as we rejected Camarilla R4 in an overlapping higher value relationship with the Camarillas. Now, in this kind of situation, we're looking for buys at Camarilla S3. We're not really looking for shorts too much, right? In these overlapping higher value relationships, you want to look for shorts at a failure of Camarilla R3. Like we're supposed to open, come up to this level, then you look for like maybe a short or like a failure of the uptrend because it's moderately bullish, right? So if we already got that break above Camarilla R3, this is now classed as a B setup, because the short side of this is not really where the indicator is, or the Camarilla pivots are suggesting price should move, right? And we're already getting this bullish open, so I class it as a B setup, where it's more intuition based, but we're seeing the setup manifest itself, but there's some intuition in it as well, right? So putting on the Vwap bands, the white line is the Vwap, first upper deviation, right? And this is the second upper deviation band, right? So let's see, when we opened here, and I think, wait, hold on. And this was a buy cover right here, right? So that was a buy cover from a short trade I did previously, right? I think that short trade was from somewhere around here. So I did like a cover right there. But anyway, let me just see here, make sure I'm on the right, cool. Right, so we have these rejections here at Camarilla R4. That's the first indication of weakness. Then we have the breakdown of the upper deviation band, right? We have strong selling pushing through that band. And then, let me just make this a little smaller, right? So then I took the short here at this this first upper deviation breakdown, right? So my entry was at 42,551.55, which is right around here, right? So somewhere around 551, right? Somewhere around this level here. So let me just point that out right quick. 551. Right, so that was my entry approximately right there, right? So was a little late to this entry as well. Let me make that bigger. Right. So caught that second upper deviation breakdown almost to VWAP. So gotta work on those entries. But I'm not really looking at these charts all the time. I'm just, going off of some alerts, like when I see it on my phone and stuff, I'm going off of these alerts. So this is not a trade that I was actually looking at the chart. I'm getting these alerts when they break down from certain levels, like these upper deviation bands. So anyway, took that short right there. We came back, we retested that upper deviation band, had sellers, got us to VWAP, came back, retested that upper deviation band. This is R3, Camarilla R3. So I took another short here on the breakdown of VWAP, and that level was 42,473.09. So let's see here, 42,473.09, roughly right here, right? So that was the second entry. That was the add to the position. Got nice selling through VWAP. Added to the position there. And I actually think that I set a limit order somewhere around here, like the breakdown of this level. So this one was an active trade. Should have took that this trade right at the beginning of this candle right here at 42,497, right? So gotta work on those entries. And we broke this lower deviation band, came down to the second lower deviation band, created a preliminary stop, created the selling climax right here, got the automatic rally, and I closed. This is how I know when to close these short trades, right? When we close above this lower deviation band, the first one, that's when I close my trade at roughly, what is that, 42,552.54. Let's see right here, 42. So it's roughly right here, 42,352. All right. Right, so roughly close my trade right there. Right, so the close above this lower VWAP deviation band is usually an indication of like a reaccumulation structure when we're talking about like the Wyckoff theory. This is indicative of like a reaccumulation structure. They usually do this at these second lower deviation bands, right? And then you get the automatic rally that pushes above the lower deviation, right? This green line. Then you get that secondary test, right? I could label that as well. Right, so that's your secondary test right there. We're coming out of phase, we just completed a phase A, moving into phase B, but this happened now like a V reversal, right? So this is where the major buying started yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but actually on the 31st. This was actually, yeah. So this was the 31st as well. When we were closing on the 31st, we started getting these buyers coming in here. So if we're really looking at it, we could look at this as the preliminary stop, the automatic rally. This is the secondary test or the secondary stop. And now we're moving into phase B, right? So we got this big buying uptrend here. As you can see, we from lower deviation, we regained that upper deviation, tested the second upper deviation, auction between that level until we found buyers here today at like 105 Eastern time, and they took that all the way up. So from the accumulation, they took that all the way up, and right now we're at a secondary test level. This is on my 1 hour Wyckoff chart. So I was actually showing my nephew, I'm teaching my nephew how to trade and I was letting him I was breaking down some stuff for him about the uptrend and kind of going against the uptrend, but I was also showing him these floor pivots, floor pivot R4 being a very heavy resistance level. So I was just breaking down all the indicators within this trade on all the things that you might need to look at, like previous week's high. We're getting an auction here. Is the sellers gonna sell out at this level? I was showing him that this trade now is not like the same short trade I did, but he was looking at the weakness. So it's he's kind of like me, where he's a pessimist, where he spots the weakness and he doubts like the continuation of the uptrend, right? Which is kind of natural for most traders, you know. And I was warning him against the sell trend because we could always do this, right? So this was a good teachable moment. This was some of his trades here. I actually showed him, okay, we could take a buy trade here, right, for a breakout continuation, but that hit my stop, right? And then he was saying, okay, he wants to take a sell trade. So I was telling him to look out for this right here. So he took a sell trade that he put his stop at this level right here, which was around this level, right? And eventually the buyers took control again, and now we're basically we're really moving higher right now on Bitcoin. We're up at 44,634. And this is on a Camarilla R3 rejection we're getting right now. And this is not a short setup again, because this is a higher value relationship in the Camarillas. And even though we're getting like a same kind of rejection here at the upper Vwap bands, this is not the same kind of setup. This would be like a B setup for like a short, right? So the shorts isn't recommended right now. Right now is basically looking for like a breakout above this upper deviation band and R3 to continue like a uptrend, right? Would it get to R4 again, like 2 days in a row? Not really sure about that. We have this weekly, let's see, yeah, this weekly chart. We just broke out of the weekly Camarilla R4, which was in a overlapping lower value relationship. So we broke above that. We're breaking that lower thesis. Broke above R1 at 44,462.92. But we're actually breaking above Camarilla R5, going to Camarilla R6. So these are tricky levels here. It's also on my 1 hour chart. This is the buying climax, coming back to this level right here from the 5th of December. So let's see, we might get an uptrust, a break above to possibly 1 second. Right, so a break up, we could have an uptrust here, a break up to like 45,728, and then probably a retest. Or who knows, probably even weekly R4 at 46,360. It depends on how strong this buying is. This buying is looking very strong right now. It's looking like it's just the beginning of like all this accumulation that happened here. So we could see some real moves in Bitcoin for the beginning of the year. All right, yo, so that's just a little recap on this short trade I took. And then Bitcoin did its V reversal right there. Let me show you that. Right, so after I closed my position, we basically did like a triple bottom right there and took off from like around 155 this morning. And yeah, that's my trade. All right, y'all. So still developing this Vwap strategies. I'm getting my rules in order, and just gonna take on this year, as a seriously consistent trader with sticking to rules and the whole nine, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of the flip-flopping nature of my trading, and I know exactly why that was, because I'm not sticking to certain rules, and I'm doing too much intuitive trading, so I gotta stick to these rules, stick to the A plus setups, the A setups, the B setups. If my intuition is still looking like it's in favor, right? Because there's no rejection here at this upper deviation band, right? Compared to like this one that I took here. Right? This is different compared to where we're at now. This is not uptrend, a big, huge uptrend, you know what I'm saying? So this is showing weakness and rejection of temporary rejection of this overlapping higher value relationship with the Camarillas. And eventually we got the buying, and the buying came in at the value area low, which is that white line right there. Right? So market profile stuff, value area low, got the buyers right there. Market value is in a overlapping higher value relationship. So textbook stuff. As long as you stick to the rules and you stick with the high probability trades, you'll be a consistent trader. So that's what I'm shooting for. All right, y'all. So it's Malak Sholomo. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed.